I also included 2 ancillary tasks that I produced myself. These were a film review and also a film poster. Due to not having produced a film poster before, I resorted to the internet again to research previous examples and stumbled across a really good one of the Batman The Dark Knight film, and I used this one a lot to base it on my own film poster. I clearly looked at the billing board at the bottom and magnified into it to see what exactly is included in the billing board, what film company names, etc. are included in it, and I use this for my own. And I feel it presents the genre very well, as it shows the protagonist, Amelia, situated on her own, not looking at the camera, to represent her idleness and loneliness. There are also trees surrounding her relating to the location used in the film, and they are enclosed on her to again show her loneliness. And so because of this, I feel it's quite an iconic image to use for my film poster. And also the film title actually stands out because it's on a slant and it's a different font to all the other different text around it. I've also edited the title on Photoshop Elements and made all the letters a bit blurry around the edges, and I feel this gives it a bit more of an edgier effect. This blurriness of the film title on my film poster acts like a hidden message, as it links well with the narrative of Forgotten, and also kind of hints at you as to what this blurriness is all about. And I think the blurriness also links well into what the narrative of my film is, the fact that she's lost her memory is blurred, such as this film title. I carefully chose the colour of my fonts. I chose mainly black and grey, however white for the billing board just to make it more visible. I also included a tagline just below the film title called "Sometimes it's better to forget and forgive," which slightly hints at a narrative of the film, because Amelia obviously now knows that she's murdered her best friend, and I think she just wants to forget it rather than try and forgive herself, because she doesn't actually remember what she's done. So my film review I actually created on Publisher, and I had to use normal computers for that, not the Macs. And for it I downloaded a couple of fonts from a website, because I felt using different fonts than the ones that are already on Word and Publisher would make it stand out a little bit more. So I chose a really good one for the actual title, Forgotten, so I think that stands out really well. And the title I use for reviews is just quite conventional of normal film magazines such as Empire, which is what I based my review around, the reviews that are in Empire. So I had to keep my titles conventional, so by looking at other reviews on Empire, I realised that the titles of the films are always the same and very easy to read. So I actually chose one shot taken straight from the film, as usually there's just one main picture in Empire's reviews, which is of Amelia reading a letter, but obviously you can't see what's written on the letter. And from this shot, the audience reading this magazine will be able to see the deserted location, the loneliness of her, and enigma codes will again begin to be produced in the audience, wondering what's the letter about, what's the field for, and it relates to what enigma codes they're going to be producing when they actually watch the film as well. The fact that in my film review I use shots that actually appear in the film would help my audience with a sense of continuity when they actually watch the film, and they can then relate it to the film review that they previously read and recognise the continuity between them. So I used the star system in it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I also made it into columns, which is conventional of film reviews, but with no visible dividing lines. And at the end included who the reviewer was, included her name, and it all looks very neat and put together well. I also used the Empire online website to look at reviews on there, and found one on Inception, and looked at the language used on there, and it's quite personal, it's quite rhetorical and chatty as well. It's not as formal as you'd expect in a magazine review. But so I used this for my own magazine review, film review, and the language I used in there was quite informal and chatty, but at the same time gave a lot of information and analysed the film in quite a great detail. And also I kept on referring to my name as Gower because that's what they use for other directors in the usual film reviews, because obviously they use the directors' surnames instead of their full names. My review is also aimed at my target audience of 16 to 22-year-olds. Obviously, Empire is quite a modern magazine targeted at young people, not the older generation. It includes all the latest films that are coming out and also a lot of eye-catching articles, so I feel that my film review would fit perfectly into one of its magazines. So together, all three of these tasks, my actual main short film, my film review and my film poster, all perfectly execute the genre of a thriller and also relate to Bart's theory of the Enigma codes being produced by the audience.